5 lessons from billionaires that will change how you think. If this is your first time here, welcome to Unstoppable You. Hit that subscribe button and drop a like on this video. It means everything and helps us reach more people who need this message. Now let's get into it. What if you could sit down with the most successful people on the planet and ask them one question? What do you know that most people don't? We did the research so you don't have to. Today we're breaking down 5 of the most powerful lessons from the world's most successful billionaires and CEOs. These aren't motivational quotes you put on a poster. These are the actual beliefs, decisions, and mindset shifts that took ordinary people to extraordinary heights. Let's go. Elon Musk. Think in first principles. Most people think by analogy. They look at what already exists and make small improvements. Elon Musk thinks differently. He calls it first principles thinking, stripping a problem down to its absolute basics and rebuilding the solution from scratch. When he wanted to build rockets, everyone told him space travel was too expensive. Instead of accepting that, he asked, what are rockets actually made of? Raw materials, aerospace-grade aluminium, titanium, copper. He looked up the cost of those materials and realized they were only about 2% of what a finished rocket cost. So he built his own rockets from scratch and cut the cost of space travel by nearly 90%. That same thinking built Tesla, Starlink, and SpaceX. The lesson? Stop accepting the world as it is. Question everything. Ask yourself, if I started from zero, what would the best solution actually look like? That one shift in thinking could change everything for you. Oprah Winfrey, your wound can become your power. Oprah Winfrey was born into poverty in rural Mississippi. She was abused as a child, fired from her first TV job, and told she was unfit for television. The very thing that was supposed to break her, her pain, her past, her struggle, became the source of her greatest strength. She didn't hide her story, she shared it. And in doing so, she connected with millions of people who felt seen for the first time. Today, she is worth nearly $3 billion. But more than the money, she has impacted more lives than almost any media figure in history. The lesson is this: your hardest chapter is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of your power. The thing you went through that you think disqualifies you, that is exactly what makes you different. Stop running from it. Use it. Warren Buffett, invest in yourself. First, Warren Buffett has given away billions of dollars. He has made some of the greatest investments in financial history. But when asked what the single best investment anyone can make is, his answer is always the same: yourself. He says the one asset nobody can ever take from you is your own mind, your knowledge, your skills, your ability to communicate, to think, to lead. Inflation cannot touch it, a market crash cannot destroy it, and the returns compound for the rest of your life. Buffett himself spent years taking public speaking courses because he knew his fear of speaking was limiting his potential. That investment, which cost him a few $100s, he credits as one of the most important things he ever did. You don't need a stock portfolio to start investing. You need a book, a course, a skill, an hour a day dedicated to becoming sharper, better, more valuable. Start there. Everything else follows. Jeff Bezos, regret nothing. In 1994, Jeff Bezos had a stable, high-paying job on Wall Street. Then he had an idea, an online bookstore. His boss told him it was a great idea for someone who didn't already have a great job. Bezos went for a walk and asked himself one question. When I'm 80 years old, looking back at my life, which decision will I regret more, trying and failing or never trying at all? He calls it the regret minimization framework, and it is the reason Amazon exists. He quit his job, drove across the country with his wife, and built Amazon out of a garage. The rest is history. Most people make decisions based on fear of failure. Bezos made his decision based on fear of regret. And that subtle difference in perspective is what separates people who build empires from people who spend their lives wondering what if. Ask yourself right now, what decision are you avoiding that your 80-year-old self would beg you to make today? Steve Jobs, obsess over the things others can't see. When Steve Jobs was designing the first Macintosh computer, he insisted that the circuit boards inside the machine, the parts no customer would ever see, had to be beautiful. His engineers thought he was crazy. Why does it matter what the inside looks like if nobody will ever see it? Jobs said, a great craftsman doesn't use cheap wood on the back of a cabinet just because nobody will see it. The quality is for you. It is a standard you set for yourself. That obsession with invisible quality is what made Apple products feel different. Not just look different, feel different. And it built the most valuable company in the history of the world. The lesson? Care about the work nobody sees, your integrity when no one is watching, the effort you put in when there is no applause. That is where your real character is built. And eventually, always, that invisible work becomes very visible results. 5 billionaires. 5 lessons that took decades and billions of dollars to learn, and you just got them in 6 minutes. Think from first principles. Turn your pain into power. Make decisions based on regret, not fear. Obsess over the work nobody sees, and invest in yourself every single day. You don't need $1 billion to think like a billionaire. You just need to start thinking differently.